Hi friends, good evening. Today we are focusing to discuss electronics online exam which we conducted today, right? So let us start with the first question. First question is at 300k for a diode the current of 1 milliampere, right? The diode current of 1 milliampere. A certain germanium diode requires a forward bias of 0.1435 volt, whereas certain silicon diode requires a forward bias 0.718 volt. That means to maintain this forward current in a diode, that is 1 milliampere at 300 Kelvin. This temperature is in both cases same, but the voltage is different in case of silicon and germanium, right? And then what will be the ratio of reverse saturation current in germanium diode to that of silicon diode, right? So we already know the expression, that is in diode forward current I is equal to I0 e raised to eta Vg, alright. Forward voltage Vf divided by thermal voltage eta Vt minus 1, right? And this Vt at 300 Kelvin, we have already studied the value, that is Vt is equal to this thermal voltage, that is Kt by E, that is equal to K is the Boltzmann constant. At 300 Kelvin its value is 26 millivolt, or we may write this as 0.026, right? That much volt. Now the forward voltage, if I am considering the germanium diode, right? So I germanium. So in both case I germanium equal to I0 germanium into e raised to, what is the forward voltage required for germanium? That is 0.1435 volt, right? Let me check the value again. Yes, 0.1435 divided by, now look into this eta ideality factor, eta that you can select, that is equal to 1 for germanium, and that is equal to 2 for silicon, right? This all we have discussed in theory, right? So for germanium this eta will be 1 and this will be 0.026 minus 1, all right? So this is the exponential power, and this minus the term minus 1, all right? Now look into this I silicon, you can write as I0 Si e raised to, here the voltage is that is different, 0.718, right? 0.718, but thermal voltage there is no different, but eta value is 2, that is 2 into 0.026 minus 1. Now look into this. In each case, right, the voltage is different, but in each case this IGE, ISI, both we have to maintain 1 milliampere. So this side will be 1 milliampere each, so this side will be equal, all right? So we can divide this, then we can write, so this will be equal to, we can divide this, that means 1 is equal to, so we require the ratio germanium diode to that of, so we can divide this by this, all right? So we can divide 1 is equal to, so we can do this by this, all right? I o Si, right? Reverse saturation current in Si divided by reverse saturation current in germanium equal to this minus this, right? That is e raised to 0.1435 divided by 0.026 minus 1 divided by e raised to 0.718 divided by 2 into 0.026 minus 1, all right? Now you can easily calculate this IOGE divided by IOSI, right? The only parameter we need to find IOGI by IOSI. This will be 1 by 1 because I germanium and I silicon both are maintained at 1 milliampere at a different potential, right? Now that is will be equal to this ratio. When you solve this, you will get 4 into 10 raised to 3. So option C is correct. All right. All right. Now let us come to another question. Calculate the value of current I. The cut-in voltage of Si, that is 0.7 volt, and germanium, that is 0.3 volt, right? So here we are giving a 12 volt battery, right? So here the potential is 12 and here the potential is 0. So 12 minus 0, 12 minus 0 is equal to the voltage drop across. Suppose the current is I, here SI voltage is 0.7 plus, and here it is the voltage drop is 0.3 plus, here it is I into 5.6 kilo, right? So this is 1, 12 minus 1, that is equal to 11. 11 is equal to I into 5.6 kilo ohm. So that means I is equal to 11 divided by 5.6 kilo ohm. That is equal to 1.96 milliampere. So option A is correct, right? All right. Now let us come to another question. The peak output voltage of a full wave rectifier is 10 volt. Its DC voltage is, so we already know VDC is equal to, for half wave rectifier this is Vm by pi, right? And this is for half wave rectifier. For full wave rectifier we have already derived this in theory, right? For full wave rectifier, this VDC is equal to 2 Vm divided by pi. So when you solve this, 2 into what is Vm? 10. 10 divided by this pi is equal to 22 by 7. So let me write this as 14 into 10 divided by 22, right? So 140 divided by 22, right? That is near to 140 divided by 22, 6 point something, right? So 6.36, that will be the answer. All right. So the next question is, find the Q point IC VCE where beta is given. Beta is equal to 100, right? So so we can solve this IC, right? So to know IC, we have to solve IB first. So let me apply the Kirchhoff rule across this junction. All right. So that is 5 volt is equal to 5 is equal to this IB into 1000 K, IB into 1000 kilo ohm, right? For a common emitter amplifier, right, we will usually select the base emitter voltage is 0.7. So that is 4.5 minus 0.7. 5 minus 0.7, right, that is equal to IB into 1000, sorry, this is 100 kilo ohm, right? So 100 kilo ohm. So IB is equal to, I can write 4.3 divided by 100 kilo ohm, right? That means IB is equal to 4.3 divided by 100 milliampere, right? Now what is IC? So let us solve this VCE. IB. Once I get IB, what is IC? IC is equal to beta IB, right? Beta IB. What is beta? Beta is given in the question 100. That is 100 into, what is IB? 4.3 by 100 milliampere. So 100 cancel. So 4.3 milliampere. That is IC. So IC we got. Now let us calculate VCE. Right? What is VCE? To find out VCE, we can apply Kirchhoff rule across this junction. So VCC is equal to, here there is a voltage drop, that is ICRC, and this collector and emitter there is a voltage drop, that is VCE. So plus VCE. So VCE is equal to VCE is equal to VCC minus ICRC. What is VCC? That is 10 volt minus what is IC? 4.3 milliampere. What is RC? That is 2 kilo ohm. Right, this kilo ohm milliampere cancel. 2 into 4.3, that is 8.6. 10 minus 8.6, that is 1.4 volt. So 4.3 milliampere and for 1.4 volt and 4.3 milliampere. So the coordinate is 4.3 milliampere and 1.4 volt. So which one is the option? Option B is correct, right? Option B is correct. Now let us come to another question. The question is, calculate VBE in the circuit below, right? So we need to solve this VBE. So IC is given, right? So let me calculate. IC is given. So obviously we know what is IB, right? IB is equal to IC is equal to beta IB, right? So beta is given. So what is IB? IB is equal to IC by beta. That is 2 milliampere divided by 50. So 2 by 50 milliampere. Now we have already the value of IB and IC. IC is equal to 2 milliampere. Now let us apply the Kirchhoff rule across this junction. Right, that is equal to 50 kilo ohm. Right, IB, this is IB. So IB RB, this 12 volt is equal to, first equation is IB into 50 kilo ohm plus VBE. VBE we need to solve, right? Plus here IERE, right? IERE, right? IERE. RE is equal to again 5 kilo ohm. Now what is IE? IE is equal to IC plus IB. That is 2 milliampere plus 2 by 50 milliampere. That is 2 milliampere plus 2 by 50 milliampere. Alright. So we have all values here. So we can solve the IB. We can solve this VBE. Right. So let me substitute all the value here. 12 is equal to what is IB? That is 2 by 50 milliampere into 50 kilo ohm. This kilo ohm milliampere cancel. So we have 50 cancel. So we have 2 here. Plus VBE we need to solve. So that I kept here. And we have this 2 by 50 into what is IE? IE is equal to this. That is let me write this as 2 into 50, 100. Right, 100 plus 2. So 102 by 50. 102 by 50. So let me erase this. 102 by 50 milliampere into 5 kilo ohm. 5 kilo ohm. So let me erase this again. This milliampere and kilo ohm we can, this 5 and this 5 we can cancel. So 10.2 volt, right? So here 12 equal to, here what is the value? 2, and here VBE, and here what is the result? By 10. So 10.2. 10.2. So what is VBE? That is 12 minus 10.2 plus 12, that is 12.2 equal to VBE. Then what is VBE? Minus 0.2, right? That is equal to VBE. Alright. So which one is the option? Option D is correct. Right. Now let us come to another question. The current gain of the transistor is 60. Right. Current gain beta is given. That is 60. The input impedance R in is given. That is 1 kilo ohm. And collector resistance RC is given. That is 2 kilo ohm. Right. And two such transistor amplifier is RC coupled. Then final gain is So we have already studied the final gain is the gain of the first stage. Suppose I have a 2 transistor amplifier, right? So here I am giving an input, but here due to loading effect, here the output impedance is equal to RAC. RAC is equal to RC Rin divided by RC plus Rin. So we have to solve this gain. So actually for the second stage we will get this gain 60, right? Gain 60, all right, 60 into 2 by 1, all right, 60 into 2 by 1. For the second stage we have this 60 into 2 by 1, that is the our gain. So in the first stage our gain is 60 into 2, that is 120, all right, that is 120. But in the first stage what will be the gain? The gain will be um, that will be due to loading effect. So the input, the output of the first stage and input of the second stage together we have a loading effect. So we have to solve RAC, right? What is RAC? RC Rin. That means RC is given 2 kilo ohm, that is 2 into Rin is equal to 1 divided by 2 plus 1 divided by Rin. Rin again, that is 1, and this much into our beta, right? This is the first stage gain, beta into RAC by Rin. Let me write the equation here, beta into RAC by Rin. So 60 into, so 60 into 2 by 3, all right, all right, 60 into 2 by 3, so that is equal to, so let me write this as 2, right, 20, so 40, then 40 into 120, right? So the total gain will be 40 into 120, that is equal to 4 into 12, that is 4 into 12 is, that is 48, right? So unfortunately there is no option is given, right? So due to that we have cancelled this question in the examination. I think this we have already informed you, okay, after the examination. So it's a real answer is 4800, but not given in the option, right? All right, because the current gain is given in the question. Suppose the voltage gain is given, so I think the questionnaire they decided to put the voltage gain here. If it is voltage gain, so the second stage gain is 60, and the next stage, the first stage gain is 40. Then answer is there, 4 into 6, that is 2400, right? Then this is the answer. As the current gain is given, we have to solve the voltage gain, so there is no answer in the given option, all right. Now let us come to another question. The tank circuit of the Hartley oscillator is shown in the figure. If M is the mutual inductance between the inductors and the oscillation frequency is, right? We have already studied in a Hartley oscillator the frequency is equal to 1 by 2 pi root CLT, right? Where L is the mutual inductance between these two coils. So as they are connected in series, what is the effective value of this LT? That is L1 plus L2 plus 2M if M is the mutual inductance between these two coils. So let me substitute that value here. So 1 by 2 pi root C into L1 plus L2 plus 2M. So which one is the option? That is option A is correct, right? All right. Now let us come to another question. A sinusoidal input voltage V in of frequency omega is fed to the circuit shown in the figure, where C1 is very greater than C2. If Vm is the peak value of the input voltage, the output voltage V out is, right? So this is a voltage doubler circuit is given, right? We have already studied the working of voltage doubler. So during the look into this, during the positive half cycle, this diode will conduct, right? This diode will conduct, and and this circuit is open because it is at a reverse biasing. So there is no output voltage, right? So there is no output voltage across it. So we will get this will during the positive half cycle, this capacitor C1 will charge Vm, right? All right. But look into the negative half cycle. During the negative half cycle, if you look into this circuit, during the negative half cycle, this diode will conduct, right? And this circuit will be open. It will not work. So during the negative half cycle, then input AC peak is, that is minus Vm, right? So here we have already a charge, a potential Vm is stored in the positive half cycle. So this minus Vm is balanced with Vm, then our output should be minus 2 Vm. Minus 2 Vm plus Vm only, we will get minus Vm, right? So we will get the double of the voltage here, right? So the double of the voltage that is obtaining. So the magnitude of the output will be 2 times of the input peak. That means this is a voltage doubler circuit, right? So the output will be 2 times the input, that is 2 Vm. Option A is correct. Now let us come to another question. A pure silicon at 300 Kelvin has equal electron and hole concentration of 1.5 into 10 raised to 16. So intrinsic carrier concentration is given 1.5 into 10 raised to 16. And by doping indium, it increases the hole concentration. So we are doping by indium, that is a 13th group. So obviously the hole concentration will increase. That P value, number of hole concentration, I can represent with P, that is equal to 4.5 into 10 raised to 22. So we need to find the electron concentration, right? Electron concentration N, right? We have already studied Ni square is equal to Np. So N is equal to Ni square divided by P, that is 1.5 into 10 raised to 16 whole square divided by okay, P. What is P? 4.5 into 10 raised to 22. 4.5 into 10 raised to 22. So when you solve this, you will get 5 into 10 raised to 9. Right, 5 into 10 raised to 9. So which one is the option? Option D is correct. Now let us come to the next question. The current gain of the transistor in CE, common emitter configuration, is 49. What will be the current gain of the same transistor in common base configuration? The current gain in common emitter configuration is beta, right? And what is alpha? We have already studied a relation connecting beta and alpha, that is beta is equal to alpha divided by 1 minus alpha. This equation we have studied. So we can solve this alpha from it, right? Alpha is equal to, so from it we have already studied a beta by 1 plus beta, I think. Beta by 1 plus beta, right? Beta is equal to 49 by 49 plus 1. That is equal to 49 by 50. Obviously it is 0.98, right? So option B is correct, right? Now let us come to the next question. The frequency of the Wien bridge oscillator is 3 kilohertz, right? If value of resistors in bridge network is 200, and find the value of capacitor in PF, right? So in Wien bridge oscillator, in the bridge we will use two capacitors, that is Z1, that is equal to Z2, right? That we need to find, right? That is equal to C. Suppose that value is C, that is how much? And the resistor is R1, there are two resistors we are using in the Wien bridge network for working it as an oscillator. So R1 R2 is equal to R, that is given, that is 200 kilo ohm. We have already studied its expression for frequency, that is 1 by 2 pi root A C1 C2 R1 R2. Here C1 is equal to C2 is equal to C. So C square R square, that is if in case C1 is equal to C2 and R1 is equal to R2, this equation I can modify as 1 by 2 pi RC. Alright. So here the frequency is given, that is 3 kilohertz, right, equal to 1 by 2 pi R into R is given, that is 200 kilo ohm. 200 kilo ohm, and C we need to find. Now you can solve this, right? C you can solve, then you will get 264.5 picofarad, right? So option B is correct. Now the final question is Fermi energy level in pure semiconductor is, we already studied in n-type semiconductor the Fermi energy level, that is here is my valence band, conduction band. In n-type the Fermi energy near to the conduction band. In p-type this is near to the valence band. But for a pure semiconductor, the Fermi energy level, that is middle of the, we have conducted a detailed discussion on this, right, during the theory portion, right? So the Fermi energy level that is middle of the valence band and conduction band. So which one of the option? Middle of the conduction band and valence band in pure semiconductor, right? All right. So this is all about this exam paper discussion. So there was a correction we made, that is in the sixth question. Its actual answer is that is 4800. All right. Okay, thank you.